Hey, Peter, Peter, the oldest of the brothers in the house right now. I guess the middle child. My wife here to my left.
It sounded like he was gonna say something.
It's all right, just go with the flow.
Introduce like my beautiful wife here to my wife is Nancy, who's the mother of my 3 beautiful children, or something like that. That's it.
Keep it simple. Since it's recorded, she's gonna keep that as a ringtone.
This is a perfect way to start off for the topic that we're talking about.
That's right.
This is like Venom.
Yep, I'm just Nancy. I'm Peter's wife.
Introduce yourself.
This is Jerry. This is Jerry. This is the youngest brother of the family.
This is Jerry.
This is Ba. I'm married to Amy. Go ahead.
This is Amy.
Married to Ba.
A sister of Jerry.
Sister of Jerry.
This is Vince. I am the nephew of the family. And this is my wife.
What's the name?
Jeez.
Go on.
This is Shua, the wife of Vince, mother of his 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a bad intro. We were just all testing it.
It's all right. Hold on.
Like you would think that the rest of the guys would kind of learn from this example. They kind of just did the same thing.
I feel like it got worse and worse.
Let me cheer us up.
When you lead by example, this is what you get.
So the topic of today is going to be about marriage. Anything about marriage. So let's have Peter and Nancy kick it off. What do you guys want to talk about marriage?
Oh, you could go first.
Well, I guess since we are the oldest couple here, oldest being married too, so a little experience. I would say choose your battles, right? Because we always get passionate about how we feel, so we forget about how each other feel too. So you have to choose your battles on which ones you want to fight and which ones you want to just let them win, because it's not worth the constant attacks and defending each other, right? I don't know.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I sometimes find that I have to stop myself, and it helps, for a long hour relationship a little bit sometimes. No?
That's like, oh, yeah. No, that's good. No, that's true. It's very true. I agree to it. You gotta, like the...
He is like Venom right now.
Like that.
Drop
You
it.
gotta pick and choose your battles.
Yep.
It's like one of the advice my uncle gave me. You gotta pick and choose your battle. You don't need to win all the battles. Remember, it's just a battle. It's not like you're fighting a war, and that's with your spouse. And one thing that I always try to remind myself, because every time we were in those situations, you're just in the heated moment, so you forget. But I always try to remind myself that I chose this person to spend the rest of my life with him. So it's not worth it just staying mad at him, being mad at him. So a lot of times it's just trying to put that to the side and talk about it. We've definitely learned a lot. One of my biggest advice that has helped us a lot is that every time we encounter our problems, sometimes we do get really stubborn in the situation, depending on the situation, but it's always to go back and talk about the problem, be very open-minded, throw all those emotions to the side during the argument, and just talk about the problem and move forward from it. Because if we don't ever talk about our problems, it just sits there and it piles up. That a new problem comes up, it adds up, and we're talking about a problem that happened last week, 2 years ago, 10 years ago. So it just always keeps making the situation uglier. So every time we go back and we talk about our problems within the same day or the next day, as while it's still fresh, we're able to fix our problems and move forward from it, and it doesn't accumulate. It doesn't add more problems to us. It doesn't add more fights.
How do you
'Cause
do
it's
that
just-
when you're still mad at each other? Though?
But that's the thing, like, yeah, you cannot do it when you're still mad. That's why it works when we're both. It's hard because it's like it's usually one of us that kind of gets over it a lot quicker than the other. So it's like being patient, but we both have to try to work it to be able to make it happen.
Like what you're saying, like how do we do that? Like for me and Ba, I am a person who confronts a problem and I want to talk about it right away. Ba is more he's somebody where he doesn't. If he's heated, he wants to take a break. And I hated that. I hated that because I like to talk about it right now. But then just being with Ba, I've learned that it doesn't work that way for him. But if I push him to do it, then it pushes him to be, for us to actually have an ugly argument. And which we hardly ever do, then which is great. However, it's like I start to realize that my way isn't always the best way. So then I started to work with how he is. And granted, I hardly do that, but you know, when I can and when I do, it's a good result. But so yeah, pretty much it's like just taking a break, but not for long, because like I feel like once when you take a long break, then it's like you think that the problem is done.
Yeah.
But it's not. Like just take a quick, like maybe 30-minute or whatever, half a day. Just get your mind, your thoughts together, and then moving forward. But just taking that quick break from each other would really help a lot.
Yeah, that's my take on it. I like to kind of when it gets to a heated situation or just an argument, disagreement, take a step back and reflect on what you said, what they said. And what I learned is a lot through my way is that always asking myself what I could have done, not what she could have done. I mean, yeah, you know, at the end of the day, I always tell her too, I get it. At the end of the day, I sit back and I tell myself what I could have done, and then that makes me feel so much better, because not blaming her, blaming her is gonna be the problem. But once I realize that, I always take a step back and see, what I could have done, said, maybe been more open-minded, listen to her. But my thing is that I don't like talking situation right after a problem, is because everyone's still in their emotions. Everybody's still in their emotions. They're kind of clouded, and they're still gonna say what they want to say. Either even sending the message, right? It could be coming off in a aggressive. It could be coming off in a petty way or a disrespectful way. And that's why I was telling me, like, I talk to you. I don't talk to you in the way I don't want to talk. I was just calm and collective. Yeah. So then that's kind of the way I see it, and then I stay back because I want to collect my thoughts and everything. So that's the way I handle it. And Amy's right too. Sometimes I take too long, and it's like seems like I'm sweeping the problem to the rug. But that's just kind of how I handle it, because I don't like to say things that I don't mean and things that I would like to regret later. That's my whole thing.
What about you, Jerry?
Okay, hold up. Let's explain our experience. So,
Like examples?
like, just so everybody knows how long you guys been married.
Oh yeah.
So I've been married since 2017. So this makes it 5 years, and it's rough. Shit. At first, I thought it was gonna be easy. It's gonna be like a 2-player team playing adventure game. It's not like that.
Yeah.
There's no cheat codes. And then I figured out the hard way, but at the same time too, it's like there was already people who told you
What to expect.
Yeah, what to expect, or like how to play the game, and you're just like, nah.
Got
I
this.
got my own cheat codes, I got this basic level I could do, or hard level. It's just like that, and then I figured out that because I chose this path, then I had to commit to it. I'm not gonna give up on it. It's just like going to school, Some people, they don't like it, but they just get it over with, and then boom, move on to the next thing. At least you know that you got it done. Some people might be overachievers, where they want to be like, I want to be the best at everything I'm doing, no matter what.
See, now with school, you got a time limit. You're gonna be there for like 4 or 5, 8 years, but the marriage is gonna be forever.
Yeah.
So
So how long have you been?
So we've been married for, it's about to be 3 years in a couple days. So, like what Jerry said, it is rough. Like and going back on what Nancy said too, it's like it's not supposed to be a war, but we were fighting a war until we found a common enemy, which would be life. It's like, okay, you know what? Let's focus on the kids. Let's try to get a house. Let's start a real life. Not just like, oh, okay, we're married, we have kids, but we still live at my mom's house. That's not really a life. That's just like pretty much lingering. So, yeah, I mean, we still have our ups and downs, but the thing that I've learned that I didn't do for the past 2 years is I just need to give her time. Kind of like how Ba is. She's like that too, where if she's too heated, she'll walk away. No matter if she's in the car or not. She'll open the door and fall into the car.
Okay, like the people that are like blood related, are you guys like me where it pisses you off when they walk away?
Yes.
Wait, is it just me or is it? Do we have the same
I think it's
mindset?
a family thing.
Right?
Yes. I hate it when someone walks away from me. I will fight that person due to the fact that they don't want to solve this conflict.
I am not done with you.
I can't stand that shit, man.
So you guys are the problem.
No.
You guys are the problem. Exactly.
This is an intervention for you guys.
So you still want to fight? That's what you want to talk?
We're still trying to tell you guys that we're right.
Exactly. Yeah.
This is how do they say?
Memories.
Full circle right here.
Other people can hear it live, and they'll have their opinions on it because they'll know the truth now.
That we are indeed always right. So, we've been married since 2019, but we've been together for how long already? Was it?
Like
12
like
years.
12 years.
12 years together. Yeah, like I was saying, I can't. It's hard for me to be able to deal with someone who walks away when I'm trying to tell them that I'm
I ain't
right.
walking away. What are you talking about?
I just want to resolve the problem because I don't want it to get bigger. So that's the reason why I always like telling Ba, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's get this resolved now because I don't want it to get uglier.
And it will too.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah.
No, it
You know-
doesn't. What are you talking about?
Just like how
Denial.
do we handle that? How do we do that, right? Because like Peter and I don't know.
Oh, wait, tell us how long have you guys been married?
I don't
30
know.
years.
Like we don't really have like a set marriage date because we.
Or to been
One-
together.
You could just say the day you guys got married and how long it's
Or
been
been
together.
How
I
long
mean,
been
yeah,
together, yeah.
we've been together for like
2006.
16 years, yeah.
16, wow.
2006?
15
Damn.
years, yeah. So we've been together for
Still a
quite some
baby.
time. So we've learned a lot together. But
Definitely.
like, how do you handle when is it the appropriate time to talk and work about the problems? Because
Right then and
you're
there.
two different. We have two different people that wants to handle it very differently. Because if
Yep.
you don't kind of handle it the way how they want it, then it's never gonna work. Because Peter, he wants to handle and work on the problem right there, right then when we're talking about it. I'm just kind of like, no, I'm heated, so I cannot think straight. I have so much emotions involved right now, and I need to calm myself down. But I can't calm myself down. You just keep talking because everything that you're saying, it's interpreting something totally different from what you're saying, and it's bad. It's negative. It's not good. So it's like, and I understand that that's how my mind is working when I'm such in an emotional state when I'm upset, right? So I pull myself away so I can calm myself down to clear my mind so we can talk. But then when I do that, then he's already mad at me for leaving the situation. And I'm just like, I'm not leaving. I just need to calm myself down. But then I just don't know how to, I just don't know how to like end it, right? Because it's like, we've done it where a couple times where I asked him, I was like, I just need you to stop talking right now so I can calm down. I've told him, right? But he doesn't want to because he's in the moment. And then I'm like, all right. And then when I get too heated, there's been some situation where I get too heated. I walk out from the situation. So I was just like, you know what, I can't, because I don't. This is not gonna get anywhere. So I gotta walk out so that I could calm myself down, because I'm just like, it's just too much, right? But then it makes it worse, because after I come back down, I calm down and I come back. It doesn't make it worse, but sometimes when I come down, I come back and then he's mad at me. But then there's been some instances where it has worked, right? Or he's mad at me, and then I'm just like, dude, we need to be calm about the situation. So I guess maybe I answer my own question, because I'm just like, I figured that if I were to do that route, like where I get mad and I run away, or I leave the situation to calm myself down, and I come back, talk about the problem so we can resolve it and move forward, it's taught me to learn to put my emotions aside and be patient about it. Even though he's still mad, I gotta keep reminding him, hey, we're just here to talk about the problem, because it's not gonna get anywhere if we just keep talking. You just keep saying how you feel, and I just keep saying about how I feel, because it's not communicating with each other right now. We just need to talk about the problem, the situation, and what we did, what I did, what you did, and we just kind of fix it, right? And then just don't let this happen again. But it's tough, because whenever time we're in that situation, it's just we go back to like our old ways. And we always have to keep reminding each other.
I think on that note, in regards to how to save your emotions from like hurtful things that happened before. I think that's a really big topic by itself too, right? Because we all go through these things, whether it's humility between each other, you know, like maybe if like she said that I was fat because my boobs were starting to get empty, you know, like things like that. It may be a little bit more hurtful, but then more like a different way to fix those kind of, you know, what is it? Insecurities, choices? Right? Oh. Insecurities. Because we need to learn how to talk to each other, you know?
Yep, that's key.
And everybody's different too. Like my wife, she likes to keep to herself, and when we do try to resolve the issue, she likes to run away. But then at the same time, you know, I understand it's like you're frustrated, but I know if you run away, the next time I bring it up, you're gonna do the same thing. Might as well deal with it now, and then learn how to control your emotions right now.
Do you think? Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry, I don't interrupt.
No, I didn't say anything.
Okay. Do you think like just like because we have 4 of you guys here, do you think that maybe if you do want to handle your problem right there, right then with your significant other, because it seems like we're the type that we like to calm ourselves down and not say anything, run away from the situation to calm ourselves down, to not have the confrontation worsen up. Do you think it would help the situation if maybe the word choices and the approach changes? If you guys want to resolve it right there, right then.
Yeah, because when I want to resolve it right then and there, I'm already mad too, and I'm just like, look, if we're not gonna talk about it, then don't ever fucking bring it up again.
Yeah.
And then it just gets worse, because then she'll just like ignore me. I'm like, and then she's not. I don't know if she's listening or not, but I'm talking to myself, and I'm like, oh, okay, so you're just gonna ignore me, huh? Yeah. And I'm sitting on the other side of the bed. Yo, fuck this shit. Fucking let's just take off. And then I come back. So you really not gonna talk about it then, huh? And then it just gets to the point where it's like, okay, you know what? Now I need to cool off.
Yeah.
You know, because it's obviously not getting anywhere.
Yeah. Well, I think that's why I asked, because like if you want it to resolve right there, right then, maybe the approach is to change your word choice or your emotions in it. So be like, okay, you know what? I get it. Like.
And I never tried to reply to her calmly either. So I haven't tried that yet.
You know,
so I need to try that.
It'll be a good practice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But practice it when you guys in the moment, when you guys remember it. Just do it, no matter how mad you are. Because when you guys see the result, it gets you start understanding it and seeing it a lot better. That the next time it happens again, you guys are gonna continue to get better.
Yeah.
I think for me, when me and Ba were like in a heated like situation, the reason why I push it is because for one, it's like I guess maybe I feel like I can control my emotions, and where whatever I'm saying now is the same thing that I'm going to say later, and I want you to tell me how you are feeling. I don't want you to like later on put thought into saying, trying to say it nicely or whatever. I just want your raw emotions and tell me how it is, and that's how we're gonna resolve it. Because if let's just say that Ba walks away, and then 30 minutes to an hour later, he comes to me. It's almost like you don't brush it up to make it sound nice and stuff like that. But for me, it's like if you say it right then and there, then I will know how you truly feel, and we can really resolve this real situation.
'Cause I'm gonna forget as soon as I walk away.
You guys just memory. You guys got to work on that.
Exactly. So it's like I rather get it resolved now than later. So I'm starting to realize that I don't think we're the problem. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I know we're not the problem.
I know.
See, I know we're not the problem because we have 4 other people that does the same thing too.
Yeah.
Walk away.
I think it's 4/3. I think we have the upper hand here, guys.
Where's your wife
But-
at?
But
You're the
it
fourth one.
so but like I was saying, I just feel like, you know, with us.
Angela?
Oh, did you forget she's on our side? You got the wrong person. Angela, you need to come on.
You don't want that vote.
I know. Yeah, come, Angela.
Yeah, we're
Like,
we're talking about
which side are you on, Angela?
we're talking about like when you're in the situation, Angela. When you're in a situation and
Yeah,
you
let's go.
are
Let's go.
like having a confrontation or you know, when you're
Come over here.
yeah, come here. It's like you're already spooning Angela. Oh yeah. Oh no, come here.
By default, you got a spot now.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sit down. Okay. Yeah.
Gotcha.
It was important, right?
Yeah.
You're on our team.
Yeah.
I defend my family. After that, I'm like, okay, I'm going.
Do you care for headphones or?
No.
No, just
Yeah.
talk close to it
So,
so we
like-
can hear you, Angela.
Okay. So like when you're
She goes,
when you're like
Okay,
fighting, so when you're like in a situation when you're like fighting with your when you're in a situation when you're like fighting with your significant other, are you the type that want to resolve the problem right here, right there, right then, or are you the type that you need to go cool off and then come back and talk about it?
Talk right then and there.
It's the her genes, man. I'm telling you, man.
But
It's the her genes.
see, this is the thing too, is that, you know, when we talk, and I feel like the reason why I want to talk about it is because I know how to control my emotions. It almost seemed like I can separate my emotions from what, like, I don't know how to explain it.
Like give an example. Like you and Bob are heated at the moment about it. Like when when you can control your like you could just kind of like control your emotions where like you guys are when you're heated and you're just like, come on, Bob, we need to talk about it right now, or like does your tone changes?
Oh yeah,
A
it is.
lot.
Like I will admit I am more aggressive.
No.
Like flexing.
All of a sudden, she grows a mustache and her balls drop.
Get your ass over here. We're talking about it right now.
Drop it.
All of a sudden.
But yes, I will admit that I do get more aggressive. However, I'm still conveying the same message that I will be when I'm not gonna do it later, when I'm doing it later. So that's why, like I said, it's like I want your honest opinion and I want you to tell me how you're feeling, because I know how I'm feeling and I'm telling you exactly how I'm feeling. I need you to do the same, and you can't do that if you wait later and you, like I said, you polish what you want to say.
It's not genuine anymore.
Yeah, it's
you know?
not genuine. Yeah.
I think it's genuine.
There's two sides to
Yeah.
point,
Yeah.
right? 'Cause you got that you polished it, you thought about it very thoughtfully and stuff like that, but then that also means that, so, you know, some people will think about what they did right and what they did wrong, but other people sometimes think, what did he do right and what did he do wrong, right? Or the other person, right?
Yeah.
So then if you're only looking at it one sided thing, you're already kind of losing too, you know, but it is what it is. It's so complicated, right? Because it
It
can go
is.
either way. I just think that, like what Amy said, you know, everything is there right now. Everything should be raw and real, right? Without like trying to hurt each other, but then more so like to get the information out. Like I always tell my wife, like she gets to a point where she would like just stop talking, you know, or you know, just says like just says like, "Oh yeah, you win. You're right. You know, you're always right," or something like that, and like just don't want to let her feelings out because she doesn't know how to say it.
Yeah.
And I always tell her, I go, "Well, I'm trying to talk to you to get it out, and if you never say it, you will never say it.
Yep.
But if I get you to say things, eventually your feelings will come out, and you won't even know that it comes out sometimes because you just are telling me how you feel."
Yep.
And so I will have to pick it from her. You
Yep.
know?
That's exactly how I feel. Like I have to pick it out from Bob because he's not someone who's vocal like me. I'm more vocal of how I feel, and then like what you're saying, I have to like get it out of him, and then sometimes he don't even know.
Yeah, because
I'm letting him
the
know.
thing is that the way you guys you come off as if like you can't control your emotion at the moment. You know what I'm saying?
That's the other side of the coin.
Yeah.
I see
That's
Yeah.
how I
Yeah,
am.
that's why I asked like how was your approach to, or like if you were to change your approach, if you want to fix the problem right there right then, you need to do you change your choice of words to help us understand, okay, let's just talk about the problem right there right then because you're still talking, we're heated at the moment, it makes it so hard because like we need to talk about this, we need to fix this, and we need to work this problem right now, right here. We can't just ignore it. Like with that kind of tone, with talking like that, I'm just like, you are still mad. You're still mad. I'm not gonna say anything.
Oh,
Because if I'm gonna say something, it's gonna be like, oh, so this is what you mean then, and I'm just like, and then it gets really, and then it just ends up getting ugly, and then sometimes like I feel like I get pushed too much to talk about it, and then I feel right, if I feel like I'm being pushed too much to just talk about it, then I'm already mad, so I'm like, all right, you know what? Let's talk about it. What do you want to talk about it? But I don't even like how.
See,
like,
and that's what we're trying to get out of you.
no, that's how.
We
that's
want
how
you to give us some jabs so we
No.
purposely can give you a haymaker.
See, like that, and that's what. That's what I try to prevent from happening because that's why I want to come down before I talk to him about the problem. Because if I don't, then I have so much emotion, and then I'm literally just jabbing him, and then he's getting mad at me, and he's just jabbing back, and we're not even talking about the problem anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a lot of
Yeah.
problems that add up because it just keeps doing the same thing over and over again. That's why it's hard, because that's why I was like, when is the right what if the approach was approached differently to talk about the problem during the situation? I think that it would. I mean, it works. It has happened before. I mean, a lot of time, Tony like, it's like, look. I'm
What
not
does that
trying-
mean for English?
English
I know,
listeners?
I know, yeah.
when he's really happy, when my husband is really happy.
It's really gay.
What is that in for
Okay,
our?
so there are some instances where my
French
husband
listeners.
is really high. So yeah, when my husband's really high, like that's when he's really like chill, and he's just like when we're having a heated moment or like a conversation, and then our conversation, our debate, and our disagreement, then he's kind of like, no, that's not what I'm trying to say. We gotta work together as a team. I'm never against you. We're together as a team.
Damn.
So
Dang.
you gotta understand.
Y'all need to
that.
be more high then.
And then when he does that, then
like
it
so
reminds
rough.
me. It
Yeah.
reflects
I
and
know the
reminds
truth.
me, and it puts me in my emotions. It changes my emotions to not be so mad because it automatically just kind of picks up negatively about whatever he's saying because I'm interpreting it wrongly, right? When he notices that I interpret it wrongly, then he reminds me about it, and then he's like, no, we're a team. We're supposed to work together as a team. And I was like, yeah, I don't know what the hell I'm thinking about, So then my mind gets clearer, and my ears get more open, and I'm more open-minded about listening to what he's saying instead of being like, oh, there he goes again, talking shit about me, jabbing about me, saying all these negative stuff about me. It's more open just to be like, for me to see these things that I'm doing that I don't realize that I'm doing, right? And so it helps a lot. So that's why I'm saying, when he's not, then he's still in the moment when we're debating, then it's just, it's
Yeah.
hard.
Have you
I
guys-
can't
See,
talk
like,
to him.
I can weigh on that too because when I do get high, I
He
always
gets- you're more calm.
I get emotional and I
my
get calm. I
God.
come talk to her like, hey, like, we've been going through a rough patch, dude. Like, let's talk. I'm ready to talk to you on your level now. And then like,
to be high.
All right, Evie, your turn.
I'm like, okay, look,
You guys are weak.
I'm like,
I help you guys.
it's like I put the her blood aside. I have gained my yang blood. Let's talk. And so and then she don't want to talk because I'm high. And then it pisses me off, and then I'm like, all right then, and then it comes back out.
Have you guys ever seen
And then I
Cobra Kai,
sober up,
the newest season where there is this guy, Robbie and Miguel. They had this feud against each other, and then they always like hate each other until like the dad, what is it? What's that guy's name?
John.
But John, he was like, you know what? I'm gonna let you guys duke it out, like fight it out. So they let all their angers come out, and they're just fighting it out until they're like they were able to get all of their anger out, and then they were able to finally get some resolutions. So that's how I feel when it comes to problems like this. Like I want to duke it out now, and then so we can actually find a real resolution.
Okay, shit, let's go.
But I think what you guys have to remember too
Closer.
is your other side is that when we come into it, we are not angry. When you don't listen, that's when we get angry.
Yes, that's facts.
So it's not like we start off angry. It's we just like, okay, well, obviously we need to have a conversation, and then you walk away. Then we're like, you get your ass back over here.
I thought we were trying to figure this shit
All right, so I do both sides because I test my wife, you know. I do one real nice, don't work out. Real mean, don't work out. Next one, just like to the point where she don't listen or she don't like try to work things out. Boom, I'm gone. And then eventually she will like be like, where you at? You know, it's like, well, you don't want to listen to me, so I'm just doing my own thing now, you know. Why am I gonna waste my time where we're not gonna get nowhere trying to work things out? And then she'll get all pissed off, and then I'm just like, okay, I'll let you pick my mood, you know? Like, you want me to be nice or you want me to be mean?
Yeah.
And then that determines on my answers for you. So I can just eliminate my vocabulary, like, don't use vulgar words. Or this one, be very, 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 very sheltered words, you know? Like, as much sarcasm as you can, you know? And then, you know, I experimented. I got to a point where she, like, she's already set-minded, you know, like, when she's heated, she won't listen at all, you know? Even though you can tell her what's right, what's wrong, but she's already like, I hate you, you're wrong, you know? And you're just like, I'm just asking you if you want water, you know? Like, why you gotta say you're gonna kill me or something? But, you know, it just comes to that, too, where people don't know how to control their emotions. But when you do learn how to control it and you try to teach other people to do it, then they're going to be like, I don't know what you're talking about. This is just how I do it. And then I'm the one trying to tell them, yeah, you're doing it wrong. And it's just there's a better way to do it instead of your theory because it takes too long.
See, like, telling them that they're wrong also pisses them off too, though, because you sort of belittle them. Because that's what happens to her.
Yeah.
But we have to let them know. If they don't know, then they don't know.
But if someone can't take
Not our fault.
if someone can't take constructive criticism, it's almost like counterproductive because they get mad again. You know, like that's just what I've experienced. But,
Yeah, but like even with me and my wife too, if I'm wrong, I tell her right away.
Yeah.
But then that's usually when she could take her jabs. Like, I fucking told you, I knew you were fucking wrong, and blah blah blah. And I'm just like, yeah, I was the one who told you, and you found out. And then, like,
You know what? Now that I'm just listening to you guys talk, I'm noticing that just for the spouses of we get very defensive when you guys say stuff, and I don't think you guys see it, but you guys are very
Strong-minded.
blunt with your words.
yeah, yeah.
You
That's
guys
true.
just get straight to the point. You guys are very blunt with the words.
It's like
So it gets. You guys have good intention when you guys are telling us things. Because
Yeah.
I know it. Because I know Peter has good intention when he's telling us things. He's very blunt with his words. Like the way how he talks to my kids is very blunt, straight up to the point. And me, I'm just like I sugarcoat it, whatever. But so I'm like, oh, you're so mean. But then he's like, no, they need to know. They need to understand. And I'm just like, yeah, that's true.
They do.
Yeah, and so I think like with that, like for us, like at least for my case, I get sensitive about it because I'm just like, oh, so you're just talking shit about me then, you know.
Yeah.
But then it's just understanding that that's just how my husband talks,
yeah.
and oh god, it's just like having to just put my own personal feelings to the side because that's how things get interpreted ugly, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
So
it's
I
crazy.
I've tried to sugarcoat it too with my wife. You
Oh,
know,
yeah?
like do really nice, like even like surprise her with stuff, and then
You
trying to.
should learn something.
Surprise! So, are we gonna talk about it now?
That's right.
You laugh because it's true. You know? You're like,
Wait,
give
but
her
he comes
something.
back and bites you in the butt about it?
Like I'll,
Oh.
like, let's go have dinner or something, so then we can talk about it.
Uh-huh.
Go have dinner the whole time. Like, oh yeah, now you want to do it? Pour me some shots. Let's do it. It's like, what? If you're gonna do this, we might as well just
Stay home.
yeah, stay home and do our own thing. I don't need to waste money, waste more time.
Yeah.
This not gonna get nowhere because you don't want to listen.
Yeah.
Open your mind.
Yeah. Like, we don't have to agree to what you're saying. We just need to keep our mind open, just
Yeah, just
understand what you're
open-minded.
saying. Because you have a point of what you're saying, too. It's just not what we want to hear.
Yeah.
And so if it's not what we want to hear, then we get so mad about the situation. So it's just like, oh, okay, whatever. You're always right.
So the sisters in you guys' relationship, do you guys think like us guys where, you know, like we're always right
brothers?
and us brothers?
Because we are. That's the thing.
We don't think we know.
So
Take
it's
that as
not
a yes.
We're sexist or anything.
No,
right?
nah, nope.
Okay.
I'll take that as a yes.
I think it's also like our
Closer.
family. We're just more. Our family, we're
sorry.
we're more like we want to talk about it and get over it, and then 5 minutes later, regardless of how the argument went, we'll be like, okay, well, let's go eat or whatever. That's the type of. That's how we are because. Yes, these are very important topics and, you know, things that we go through and we want to talk and have a conversation. And sometimes it's like really crazy, but it's like, okay, well, we're done. We hashed it out or whatever. Let's, okay,
Move
mood
forward
change.
from it.
Let's go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole point where we're trying to get, where we're trying to move forward or things like that. Even if we disagree too, it's like, okay, we agreed to disagree. That's it. Whatever. Let's not talk about it anymore, and then
Yeah.
we'll do whatever. But I think that also that the main thing, well, at least for me, is whenever you're going through a situation, you want to have the conversation now because you have no. So the other person has no excuse or no more like, oh, I forgot. What did we talk about? Or why did we get into the argument? Because the other person always want to pretend that they don't know what the hell we're talking about. And us when we're gonna remember.
Especially when you lose. what? Where'd that come from?
The worst part is when you have it on recording.
Yeah, you know
Can't deny that
that
one.
does bring a valid point. I think that house, I don't know. It's for some reason like for a long time. Peter tells me this. He goes, you know, I tell you these things, and it's the exact same thing your auntie tells you, but you understand her, but you don't understand me. And I was like, yeah, because you know, I think it's because I have so much like because the problems that we have that just piles up. Like, it's just kind of like, I'm just like, whatever, it's just another thing. But then I don't have that relationship with my aunt where I have problems with her and it piles up, right? So then I have more of an open mindset. But then just sitting here, because with listening to you guys, excluding him, because I have, you know, yeah our relationships are different. It does help me understand a lot more about him. And it makes sense. And it
We agree.
but it makes sense. Like, like because I
Do you
want
understand
to,
Dubai?
I know.
Yeah.
We want to make sure you guys understand that.
No, but then like because I want to resolve the problems too, so that it doesn't pile up, then it shouldn't be a problem for me to control my emotions right there, right then, to calm down, so we can talk about it, because like if we can just do that, that benefits me. It benefits me by knowing how to control my emotions, and it benefits me by throwing those problems away, so we both can move forward. So we don't have to be fighting, because I like, it's like, you know, those times are usually the ugly times, and it's not like we get so stubborn and mad about it a whole month or whatever. It's just, you know, it just ruins your whole entire day, and I hate that. And I want to enjoy the rest of my day. I don't want to be sitting there and sitting there and thinking about the problems and just being all like bad mood and pissy all the time. Oh, I hate it.
Yeah.
So, you know, like that's something that I want to try to figure out myself, is just to learn how to control those emotions. Because if he wants to figure out the problem right there, right then, and if he's calm about the situation and I'm able to control my emotions to be calm about the situation, I think we can definitely resolve it a lot quicker. If we can change that process and do it a lot sooner than later, I think that would be something that can be a good progress in our relationship. I mean, not that that's like a biggest problem, but that's something, right?
Yeah.
It's always it's always being, you know, especially being married for so long, it's always a learning process, growing together. That's how you grow. You learn together. You're always learning and doing something new every day.
Yep.
So that's why I was like, yeah.
Yeah, so Nancy, since I lived with you guys too, and
Yeah.
for such a long time, you know,
Mhm.
back in I moved there 2010,
Maybe,
2011.
huh?
Wow, that long?
Yeah.
Wow.
So when I was over there, I noticed that the way you guys fight is so stupid. You know,
It
You guys
is.
always fight.
It is what it is,
Yeah,
right?
like I
Be
think they'll
honest.
fight about like, oh, why aren't you doing this? It's like it's your turn. And like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, let me do it. I'll do it for you guys. You know, but they're like, no, it's fucking his turn. You know, or it's her turn. Just stuff like that. So I see it. I try to tell you guys, you know, because if you try to see eye to eye, you guys are always trying to kill each other. No matter what, you guys can be like, like same story, you know, on the same. You guys probably just heard it wrong or something, but then your emotions already clouded your eyes.
Your judgment.
So that's why I was there to able to try to explain to you guys like, this is where she's coming from. This is where he's coming from. You know, it's like, I don't care who's right, who's wrong. I'm just telling you my side because.
This is what I see because
Yeah.
this is exactly what's going on.
It's
I have
like
no
these are the
emotions going.
facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take it how you will.
Yeah.
Like I'm not trying to side Peter out. Like I know Peter is wrong, or it's not all wrong, and then you're not all right or wrong. But then I'm trying to tell you guys that I'm that middleman, and it's either you want to interpret it your way, or you just be like, okay, now I got somebody that's not him that I'm already angry at that's telling me what's going on.
Yeah.
It's like a coach, you know. Like if you have a coach where never helps you, and all of a sudden he like yells at you, and you're just like, what the hell? What am I supposed to learn? You never taught me anything, you know.
Yep. Yep.
But then, you know, you just gotta. It's like if you see for somebody else, like your mom or your parents or something, they tell you did this wrong, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I don't do that anymore. I don't get my ass whooped, you know. So
Yeah.
it's like kind of
Yeah.
like stuff like that.
Yeah.
You
No,
guys ever have problems with barriers, putting up barriers, not asking for help, not being open
That's
to
Vince's problem all the time.
Yeah.
things?
Peter has that Vince's problem. Yeah.
He has that problem
Oh,
too.
explain
I
the
don't know.
problem. I don't know what
What
it
do
is.
you mean?
Yeah, what's the problem?
The problem,
Talk about
the
it.
problem is that you guys are so selfless. Like you guys are such selfless people that you guys love helping others that you guys can't accept other people's help, and it's so hard. It's so hard for you
Yeah.
guys to accept other people's help when people want to help you. And it's like when we're trying to be here and we're trying to help you too, you guys won't let us because you guys just are so used to being independent on your own that you guys are so used to helping others, and it does. It makes you guys feel good too, but at the same time, you guys put other people before you, right?
Yeah.
And then when we want to be here and we want to help you too, you guys are just kind of like, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. It's just kind of like, well, you know what? If you're always sitting here wanting to try to help me, and then you're sitting here and you're fine, how are you just fine? You're not like a machine or something that has no emotions or anything. You're not fine. Let us be here too. You know? And I think like,
What do they call it? We're self-sufficient.
You do you, I do I. We do back here at 7 o'clock.
So we don't solve anything.
See,
problem solver. That's why like it always goes back to where like, okay, then we're the problem in the relationship because you guys are always trying to solve us. You guys are always trying to figure out what's going on with us and saying this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do, and we're always trying to. I feel like I'm always trying to be open-minded and trying to figure out, okay, so I need to fix this about my. That's how I feel. Right? I need to fix this. I need to change this. I need to change that. But then it's like, okay, so what about you? Well, I'm fine.
See, I
Nothing
got
wrong with me.
I got it
I'm
twisted.
perfect.
I thought she meant like, so when you guys are mad at each other, do you have the problem of being like, I don't need your help? I guess I got that wrong.
Well, I don't know, or maybe that's probably what she meant. Maybe I misinterpreted it.
Yeah,
Or
because
what do you mean by your question? So we can answer it.
Who had that question?
It was Peter.
How do you deal with the barrier when
Yeah, well, that was you
what do you
answered
mean?
something totally different.
yeah, because
Right?
because
Okay, so what is your
I was
question?
talking about with like, you know,
Listen to Mike.
when you put up your walls of being, overly protective about stuff, or like just your thoughts and things like that, and then also like, your egos and just like not wanting to open up, so then you could be vulnerable, and then we could be vulnerable together to figure these things out, right? Because I think sometimes that's what it takes, is like we both have to be vulnerable, so then we understand that we don't have nothing else to lose. right? We're here to figure this out, hash this out. It's like I always tell my wife, I was like, dude, we're on the same fucking team. Why do you always think that I'm trying to put you down? I'm trying to pull you up, and I'm telling you this is what's holding you back. Let's go,
Yep.
right?
Yep. That's how I
See,
feel.
I thrive in that because when it gets to that point where we have an argument and I don't want nothing to do with her, so now I have to do it myself. I can no longer ask no one for help, right? And then I get shit done. So I was like, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's better to just do it yourself first. That's why I notice with my wife, because if I depend on her or anything, she's going to use it against me later.
Yes.
Or she like, I don't know, not like a bad way or good way, but she'll eventually bring it up to where I remember this, And at the same time, I'm like, yeah, use it whenever. Let me know I gotta do something for you. Just, here's my get free card, But at the same time, it's like we're still on the same team, Like I don't know why you're looking at it that way. We're like, you help coach me and I help coach you, So we're like, oh, I see what you're doing wrong. You gotta change your form or something. But some people, they're like, why are you telling me to change my form? I've been doing this for 20 years. And then I'm blunt. I'm gonna be, well, you've been doing it wrong for 20 years.
Are you guys gonna drink that?
No,
Go ahead. You can do that.
Yeah, I
You
don't
know-
know if this ties with what you're saying, Peter, but yeah, I do feel like we're a team, and then when I'm like saying things, it's not to go against you. It's not us going against each other. It's just trying to better you or like better our alliance so that we can conquer the world together. It's not so much of like we're going against each other and I'm going against you and you're going against me. We're a team. That's how I always say to Paul, like everything that I'm telling him or whatever it is, it's always to just better each other, and so that we can both be on the same page, and so that we can thrive better or higher. Yeah.
Yeah, as long-
Sorry. But this goes back to what Nancy mentioned, right? It's kind of the way you convey a message. The way you convey a message, like, you don't say, "Hey, I'm trying to make us better. You're this and that. Your shit stinks." It's more like you just go straight to her, like it's almost humiliating us or me. That's how you convey the message.
Okay, I think I have a resolution. Maybe we need to talk to each other's spouse, and then because like
So you can understand where
Yeah.
your spouse is coming from.
because Bob was saying, it's just the way I convey the message. Like I'm pretty sure Peter would say exactly the same thing I'm saying, but because it's coming from a different.
But can I
It's like
matter with you. I'll reinterpret it later.
can I answer Bob's question though?
Yes.
The reason why I don't know if they feel like this too, but the reason why I do that is because when you feel humiliated and embarrassed, you're more likely not going to do it again because you don't want to feel like that. So then that's why I do it. Is so that you don't do it again. Because that's how I learned.
Yeah. So see, and that's the thing. Like I keep telling, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. I get it. That's why I keep telling Peter. I go, the way how you were raised is very different from how I was raised. So the way how you communicate, I don't understand it the same way.
Yeah.
So just because you were raised a lot more tougher and you had to go out there and do everything on your own, but I got the luxury of having my family to help me to get to where I am. So I was a little bit more sheltered than a lot more you are. So you're a lot more tougher. That's why you're very blunt with your words, but I'm like a lot more softer with my words to you when I'm trying to communicate things. Our communications is not the same. So, communicating to each other when he has a good intention, he's communicating, but then I'm not understanding it that way because how I was being communicated, if I'm trying to be pushed for me to learn, it's not like, you can, like, you're so stupid, you don't know how to do anything, like, you need to do this, you need to do that, or blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm not saying he said that, but, like,
She does.
Okay, like,
That's what I say when I
that's
try
not
to
what you
teach her
said,
how to
but
drive
okay,
stick.
so if I can think of an example, it was like, it was something like, if I could think of an example, I can't think of something recently because it's been a while since we had some kind of altercations, but like sometimes like the word choices that he uses is very just straightforward, like it felt like attacking words to me, right? So then to me, I'm just like,
Oh, I
how
know
do
one.
you
I know
expect
one.
me to learn if you're just gonna be like saying these stuff to me? Do you just like do we learn these stuff at school? Do they talk to us like this at school? Like the teachers don't talk to the kids like this to teach them to learn. Like they taught us differently, so they communicate with us in our language if they want us to learn. So if you're sitting here and you want me to learn and what you're trying to tell me what to do, then you talking to my language so I can learn and understand. And you're sitting here and you're getting mad at me saying that I don't understand you and I'm not listening to you. Well, because you're not communicating in my language because you're the one that's trying to teach me. I'm not the one that's asking you to teach me. And so he like understood that, but then he keeps going back to his old ways sometimes. And I'm like, I don't know what you're saying, but I go back to my old ways too because I'm like, okay, he's attacking me again. But then I gotta remind myself, he's not trying to attack me. We're together, right? So it makes it really hard. It makes it really hard because we have such bad habits that it's just the communication part is just it's tough. It's really really tough when your intention is totally different from what is being communicated out.
Yeah.
So like, you guys saying that we need to learn your guys' language. Have you guys ever took the time to learn ours? No, I was kidding.
But there's
No, that's kind of true because this, what I was thinking earlier is that, you know, it's like kind of like for us, I think our family, we don't like to repeat ourselves. So if we tell you one time, okay, let's say for example, right, Amy and Bob, they've been together for over 10 years. It's like, okay, dude, I told you 5 years ago, 3 years ago to do something. Why do I still have to tell you every time, you know? And it's like what you said where, you know, these things aren't taught to you so you don't understand. But it's like I've explained enough and I've said it enough for you to understand to where it shouldn't happen again. Because we do the same thing with our kids, right?
Yeah.
If they say something, they do something, you know, we constantly tell them, it's like, why do we keep having to tell you to not touch this or not do that? It's kind of the same thing. But I think with our family, it's like whenever we the other people may feel like we're like confrontational or whatever, it's like you have to understand that we never say anything to make you feel stupid, make you feel bad. I think it's just sometimes you just need that tough love and that you need to know the truth, because if you know the truth, then maybe you want to change it, you want to think differently or whatever like that, you know. I think that's with us where it's how you guys keep saying that we're just blunt and things like that. And it's like because we were taught just head on, you know, deal with it head on, that it's worked for us. And we see that there's certain tactics to where we would like to teach other, we would like to talk to others about too, and things like that, because obviously it's worked or whatever and stuff like that, that it's just like there's certain things where I don't have the time to have this, you know, nice little conversation. It's like we got to deal with it now, get over it. Like we're about to pick up the kids in 30 minutes. Let's talk about it right now. Deal with it before we get out the door. Yeah. It's stuff like that. It's just like, and you just want to get over it. I like
how you brought up like teaching the kids, right? Because it's like a kid, you could probably say it 5-7 times, I won't get mad because they're still learning. But when I gotta tell you 3 times that you're a freaking adult, you should have got on the first one.
Yep.
So back to that, you know, if you work at a real job, you deal with that daily basis. You know, fucking grown ass adults that fucking can't follow basic rules. And, you're supposed to go over there. You're in the wrong department. You know, like.
So I want to. Okay, so there's 2 comments I want to say. One is, I really don't like when people say we're raised a certain way. I don't know what they mean by that, because I feel like we're not raised the same. However, we have the same mindset, which is odd. Because and then so that's why I never really understood it, because like I said, we all were raised differently, and it's just that the mindset is just the same. I don't know how it even came out to be like that, but anyways. It's true what you're saying, it's true what you're saying. Well, I guess I'll call you Nancy in here. I don't know.
It's okay. Whatever you want. I'm good.
Like, it's true what you're saying. Like, if I want to relay a message to you, then I do need to learn how to talk to you and in your language, because the way I'm communicating is a different language to you. So it makes a lot of sense what you're saying. It took me a while, honestly. Maybe this year I start to be like, okay, people have different ways of communicating. Like, they don't understand the way I do it, where I'm more of a person, if you're blunt with me, I can take it, because you're just being honest, and you're being honest and being truthful, and you can be harsh and I would take it. I can do that. However, everyone's not the same. So that's why, but when I convey any message, or when I'm trying to relay any message to you, I will be very blunt and very straightforward and harsh, because Because people say you want to treat others the way that you want to be treated, and I'm like, well, I'm able to do that. I can handle that. Then you surely should be able to do
handle
that.
that too, yeah.
But that's not true, and it was hard for me to understand that because I was like just issues with me and Ball or me and Angela or any of us. We're like, I'm just like, how are you guys not understanding this? But the thing is that, like I said, the message, if I want to be able to communicate with them, which they're very different from me also, I have to talk to them in a way that they understand. So I completely understand what you're saying on that. And
Well, yeah, because that should be how it works for everybody, though. That's the thing. It's your intention. If your intention is to teach somebody something, then why is it so hard for you to adjust your ways to try to communicate that? Like, I need to adjust my way, like what I stated earlier, that because if Peter wants to figure the problem right there, right then, and I don't want to figure the problem right there, right then, because I'm so mad, I want to cool off. But you know what? But eventually, my end goal is to figure the problem and to fix the problem anyways. So why is it so hard for me to why it shouldn't be a problem for me to change my ways to control my own emotions, to fix that problem right there, right then, because it benefits me. It benefits me because we get to deal with the problems right there, right then, and then also that I get to learn how to control my emotions. So it works both ways. It's not just a one-way person. So just because a certain way works for you does not mean it works for that person. But then if you have an intention of something that will benefit you, why can't you just change that about yourself?
yeah, I think it took a while. Like Ba always said, you need to learn how to talk with that person, not to that person. And it took me a long time. He's always said that to me like
Since
years. And I literally just kind of barely got it.
But see, it's because the reason why I learned that way is because it's from my parents.
Because he's sensitive.
My mom, they always come that way to me. So then what I took of it is that, shit, if they're saying that to me, and I take it this way, and it's so like, just to humiliate you. So then what I do is that I got to fix myself when I talk to people. I don't want to convey that message. So that's why I am who I am. And it's always telling Amy, when you talk to people, you have to understand who they are and what kind of perspective and how to talk to them. It's always, everybody has their own different language in a sense. And that's why, and I give her always a good example. It's always like Darren. Darren's always, if you just try to correct him, he just shuts off. And then so that's why I kind of, in a way, I know how to talk to him because I understand that perspective in the sense, because once you come that way, he just kind of,
Yep.
it goes out the other way. Then when I sit down and I talk to him, he's going, okay, so it's just, that's the way I was faced when I was younger. So then I kind of took that and say, okay, if I could take this, anybody could take it. So for me to get a message across, I'd have to be able to talk with that person, not at that person. Because that's how I got, that's what I got it. So that's what I try to change. That's what I did to myself.
That's a good skill, though.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna change the subject, or not subject, but just changing a little bit. Like, okay, and one advice that I would like to give to like newlyweds or just married couples is, one thing that me and Bowie do a lot, and which I feel like it helped a lot, because I was married once before, and our relationship or our marriage didn't. Be quiet. Our marriage wasn't the greatest. It was actually like really bad, where we didn't know how to communicate. We didn't know how to get along. But I think one thing that I learned from this marriage versus like previous ones, or just seeing from other people, is I learned to love Bob more than I love myself. So because I learned to love him more than I love myself, then like my ego or my my stubbornness, I tend to like try to stop it to prevent getting Bob mad. And then one great thing is that he does the same thing also, where he loves me more than he loves himself, where it's like I'm stubborn and all those things. Then he learned to like look passive, because he sees the good in me and all that. So I think that's one good advice for just newlyweds or married couples, that you need to learn how to love each other more than you love yourself, so that when you guys love each other more, then you look out for them the most, because whatever you love the most, and that's what you cherish the most, huh? So that's how I feel like that helped us a lot. What do you say?
I think so too. And one thing I always tell Amy when we go through tough times, it's always like what you guys say, right? We're a team, and I always tell Amy that through our life, you know, as long as we're in the same mind, the same objective, and we're together, me and her together, we will always be able to move mountains.
Yeah.
Regardless how big that boulder is, regardless how big the mountain is, we just take one piece at a time, and together, we will be able to move mountains. That's always how we talk to each other.
Yeah, it works. It works because I changed my persona recently too, and I would always tell her like, let's do it together. I'm tired of fighting with you. I don't want to work against you anymore. Let's work together. And then yeah, it doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Doesn't go nowhere.
It's a two-person team, you know.
It
Yeah.
definitely is. Yes,
You
definitely.
can't just have one person
There you go.
do all the work and then you just kind of like, oh, well, you're doing it, so I'm just gonna sit back and relax and do the same thing, though.
But you gotta remember, we're both doing the work because
Yeah,
you're going to financially support us, and I am taking care and raising kids. You know, so it's like we're both.
but then
working
like
together.
that's working together. But then you could also do a little bit more than that too.
I do
as well.
clean the house, cook for you, make sure I pick you up and drop you off.
I ain't gonna lie, no joke.
Like that.
I quit my job and I've been like stay-at-home dad with no kids too. It's like full-time job,
You're
man.
stay-at-home
There's
dad.
so much
You
shit
don't
to
take-
do.
You don't take care of
Right?
Jean?
Yep.
Huh?
You take care of Jean at least, right?
I have
You
everything
change her
automated. I have to
tank.
just look at it.
Okay.
See, like
10 times.
What feeding her?
there's one advice that I've heard is like they say when it comes to a marriage, it's not a 50-50.
It's not.
It's 100-100. You have to give your 100% and they have to give your 100%.
Yeah.
And that's how this marriage is gonna work. You can't say, "Oh, I'm gonna wait for you to get better and then I'll get better." You have to always give your 100, and then the other partner has to do the same too.
Yeah. No, that's really true because that's why, like, when Jerry came to move to Colorado with us, it was towards the beginning of our relationship. So it was just a whole bunch of jealousy. I do this, you do this, you don't do this. And so you're lazy, I'm lazy, whatever.
Yeah.
And so it's just only from our eyes for what we see. But that has changed a lot. Like, it's like, I don't expect a lot from him I don't expect a lot from him from the things that I can do, right? So I can cook, I can clean, and those are the things that I like done my way, especially when it comes to cleaning. So I don't have a problem with that. So I'll do it. I'll take care of it. So like he doesn't get to like clean the toilet or anything, or he does dishes on his own term. But if he doesn't do it, I'll do it. I'm not even gonna get mad about it. It's not even like, oh, okay. So every time you cook, I do the dishes, but every time I cook, I do the dishes. That's how it works. It's not even in anything like that. It's
Like
just
stop trying to be fair.
yeah.
Like,
It was like that in the very, very beginning, but now it's like I don't even care. Thanks for cooking.
Yeah.
I will do dishes. I cook and then I do dishes. That's even better for me because, well, maybe because of my personality, I'm like, I like it clean my way. So,
Yeah.
can just let me clean it because, it's just all these little things that he doesn't do when he does dishes. It bothers me. So I'm like, that's okay. Thanks. I got the rest. I'll clean the rest. Go away. Like he doesn't even care. Like he knows. He just goes away. Like, all right, you got it. Because I know you like it done your way.
do you think he's messing up on purpose?
You know what? You tell me that.
He makes it really clean.
You have to
Put
remember
a
this.
rice on
We're
it.
very
You
smart.
tell me that. You tell me that. But you know what? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Even like
Yeah.
folding clothes, doing laundry and stuff. Like, if he wants to help, he helps. But if he doesn't, I don't expect anything from him.
Yeah.
Because he does a lot too. Like he loves to teach the kids. And me, I'm like working, cooking, cleaning. So I'm like, okay, you can do that. You can help teach the kids, educate them. We use a whiteboard. He shows math, plays with them. He's like playing teacher with them at home, and they're learning, and it's great. So he's not just sitting around and stuff. He's still being a father, and so like everybody is giving. Both person in the relationship is giving 100%. They don't have to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like within the first 2 years of the marriage, right? Like when the kids came, I will admit I used to like slack and sit around, not even really watch them, you know. But like year 3, now I'm actively trying to not sit down all the time, trying to just make sure at least the house is clean, dishes are empty, because I think my mom helps me with that, you know, because it's one of those things where like you don't want my mom to complain. I gotta take care of it. You know, I don't want to get yelled at when she gets home. So I gotta make it look exactly how she left it. You know, so
You
it
still
keeps.
live under a roof. That's why.
Yeah. You know, and I want to be fair to her too. You know, because I don't want to stress her out either. But yeah, so like, you know, I take care of all those things now, and it's like rewarding too, you know, to
Yeah.
make you feel like you weren't just being a lazy piece of shit all day.
Yeah, no, it's good, and you learn that
Yeah.
you learn that you're not perfect right away. You don't learn how to walk right away. You have to learn how to walk, right? So we all learn that. We all make a lot of mistakes in our marriages, and we learn from it and we grow from it.
Mhm.
It's like, it's a roller coaster ride with this guy for us a lot.
Angela, what do you see? Hearing all this craziness, like that's why
We're right.
this shit
I'm
don't
just kidding.
fucking work.
Well, I think my main thing is that it doesn't matter. It doesn't necessarily matter who did it. It's more of doing it together. So let's say I'm just using you guys for example because you guys said earlier where, you know, you're at home, you're doing this, and she's like, but you didn't do this and stuff like that. But you still have to acknowledge what he did. You know, it's because how can you guys come together and be better if you don't acknowledge the work? You know, you still have to, you know, praise him for what he did and be like, oh, you didn't do this? Okay, maybe next time. And then do it and kind of like work together with it. I feel like a lot of times, especially with like the Hmong people, is like, oh, you know, like females do this and males do this in the house and stuff like that. And it's like, I think for like nowadays, most of us females, we're okay with doing those certain roles, like how you're saying, like cooking and cleaning. We're okay with doing those roles, but there's times where also it's like, just because I'm a female, that doesn't mean I have to cook. Sometimes you can help too, or whatever, you know. Where it's like you have to understand that it's a combination. It's both of you guys. It's a teamwork. Like he doesn't have to always take out the trash. It's like you can take out the trash too, or you know, it's just working together as a team. And it's like whenever you guys fight against each other, it does nothing but, you know, make it worse for you guys. So why are you gonna argue if it's only gonna make it worse? And not only that, if it's like where if you feel that it's something's not working and you guys are just constantly fighting, then seek counsel. Seek where you like a relationship that you see that is growing and flourishing, and you want to, you know, your relationship to be like that. Seek for the help. Ask them, hey, how did you guys do this, or blah blah. You know, just like sometimes when, you know, whatever marriage I'm in, I will talk to Amy and them, you know, just kind of like seek advice or whatever. And it's just like, it's just because, you know, you see, okay, well, you've had success. You know, what are you guys doing that works, or what doesn't work, or whatever. So you could implement it however you can into your own relationship, because everyone is different. You know, the way Peter does his relationship is not going to work with you, because you guys are all different. Everyone's raised different, things like that. But you have to understand that, you know, you still have to do it as a whole. You still have to do it as a group. And it gets harder when there are kids involved, to where, you know, being a stay-home mom now, I never wanted to be, but now that I am, it's like, it's hard work. You know, like the person that's working comes home and they're like, you didn't do anything. You're like, bitch, did you look at the fucking house? And your kid's still alive. So I did a lot, okay? You know, it's just stuff like that. It's like it's like you have to still like, oh, okay, you know, you still, it's like what I said. I think it's like the affirmation of like complimenting of that what is accomplished, because
Acknowledge it,
yeah, because I feel like when that happens, then they're more like, oh, you know, sometimes they like that. That's their love language or whatever, you know, to where, okay, I like that. Maybe if I want that more, then you know, then I'll do more next time or whatever like that, you know. And I feel it's just like a big communication, to where you have to understand, and kind of like what Amy was saying, that, you know, you have to love the other person more and stuff like that. But I feel like you need to establish that before you got married.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like, it's like when you're married, it's like, it's a little too late, you know.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's going to be hard to get past that. But it's going to be hard to get back to that, you know, because it takes two to make that work, you know. Even though, you know, I've been in situations where that's what you do, and you try to love the other person more, and then the other person just takes advantage of it.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to take it like that too. So that's why I was like, yes, to keep a marriage rolling, you have to keep that in mind. But, you know, you need to do that before you get married, because you do it there, it's too late, you know.
Now you're locked in.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but I don't think you have to love the other person more. I rather love myself more. If she leaves your ass, then
What do you
you
got?
you lose everything.
Yeah.
But then you leave her ass, or she doesn't meet up to your expectation, then you gotta move on, right? It's just life. You're like,
You don't
get two
have to
people-
give them more. You just have to love them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to give them everything.
no, but I'm just saying though how it's just like if you love them so much and then they're not willing to change, like how long can you keep trying? You know, like, it's like, yeah, I know our love is like, our love is true, you know, but then we've been together, we're always fighting for 30 years, but you know, it's like we always have a good moments, and it's like 30 fucking years you guys been fighting? Like, I fucking killed that person in 1 year already, you know? Or just like not even have to deal with them. Like, why are you gonna put yourself in a situation where you're gonna have to stress about it?
Yeah. Plus, if you love yourself more, if they were to want to leave, it won't hurt you like that. You know? So it's like, I guess it's a wall protection, but it's like, when you go through so much stuff, it's like, it's just what happens, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well,
s-
that
I
doesn't
see it
work out.
differently. I see it like if you love yourself more, then you know the type of person you want to be
Yep.
for the people that you love.
That's how I see it. Like, because like I would love myself so much to where when I see you do things wrong, it's like, hey, this is what I do.